Alright y'all, today we're going to upgrade the doors with some new speakers and change out the locks. And I also think there's the radio on the dash. So I pulled out the dash gauges. You can see it revealed a wiring mess behind here, especially for the radio, so I want to jack that thing up. So anyways, I'm going to try to upgrade it to a clock. I think this is what that goes to, because it never actually came with one. I got the clock down here. I got lucky enough I didn't break the pins on this guy. But he did pull all the way through, so we'll see how that works out. And then there's no polarity matching on these guys, so hopefully I'll connect it back up right next. I always love how rusty these dashboards are underneath, despite never being flooded. Alright, so here's the old one. I tried cleaning up the glass on them, or the plastic I should say. Nowhere near as nice as this guy. I mean, he's got some scratches, but he's still really clear. See the difference in the mileage is 148, whereas this one's got 155. Not terribly big difference. It's also got a trip odometer, whereas this one doesn't. You can see the gauge difference also. And the plastic here, you can see it's pretty roached out on the other truck, so I swapped it out with this one. You can see some of the things it has on there. Not really. There you go. It's all just, you know, plastic. That stuff ain't meant to last. On the back of them, luckily they're the same as where speedometer goes. Wiring harness plugs in there. One plugs in here. All the wires just go with this plasticky looking ribbon cable here. The bulbs come out super easy. Checked them all and they all look okay. They're the same for both. So it should be a pretty easy swap. So naturally, as soon as I get these gauges in, I see like this guy and this guy. Well, the needles are very fidgety. Come off very easily. Oops. Let's see here. Leaving big old fingerprints in there. So I'm not sure how reliable they will be. I mean, I could put it that way, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go all wherever they want. We'll see if this thing starts vibrating everywhere. And look, it's slowly increasing on its own too. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I got it fixed. I had to reflow with solder every damn electrical connection on that little top board up there that showed wiggling. It is solid as a rock now. Ready to continue on with whatever problems it may have with it. So you want to switch out this blank for a clock. I mean, it's not the best clock, but it works. But the pins don't match. Well, you're going to have to pull them all out of the connector. Take one of these meters here, and you have to figure out which polarity is what on there. You know, obviously red and black are, but then you got some other colors you have to figure out. And no, your truck did not have to come stock with it to put one in. The connector, like mine's, already there. So once you figure that out, the polarities, you can write them down or take a picture. Then you simply just sit there and plug them in until the clock lights up. And you rewire the connector back to the way it was. Plug and play. We'll show you here in a second. Alright, so we got it wired up. You had to tie the two grounds together. Basically, I just started poking around until I got it. I had to make sure the bulb was good, but I turn on the headlights. There it is. Same with the ignition when I turn it on. Stays the same, but it works with the headlights, so I'm pretty sure I got it now. We'll see how it goes from here. So it's with it in. All power is turned off, all headlights are off. It's still running. Turn it on, you can see a lot better. Guess that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, today we are switching out the two sensors for the gauges. We got the oil pressure and the radiator temperature right there. Using a 13 for this guy, and then the wrench we used for that guy. Now, I've already done it. Temperature one's back there, back of the block. It is not leaking, thankfully. And then the oil, right here off the distributor. I used the donor truck parts. I did run it. The oil pressure just pings out still, so it might be bad. But the temperature one seems to work perfectly fine, which is great. So naturally I was left with a big old mess of wires in here. I got this radio out of the donor truck. I tried cleaning it up and everything. It works on the bench. We'll see if we can't get to work in here. Of course, I'm going to have to rewire everything from scratch. Also, I found out why air conditioner, nothing was blowing through these vents or anything. I looked down here. Apparently someone had put duct tape around that whole corner of the box. All the air just blows right out of there. Well, I got more duct tape. Maybe that'll fix that issue. The more you dig into these things, the more problems you find. This was way more of a pain in the butt than it should have been, but hey, it's in, so we can move on to the next thing. One of our next upgrades, we're going to put in this 5-inch speaker. This Infinity tweeter, we got out of a Jeep Limited XJ. Put it into this door, which was never set up for speakers. I have to make our own wiring. The holes are already there. Using some clips that came with the speakers, we'll just run it through the factory wiring, which is already here and wired to the radio. That'll be one of the upgrades we do to the door. We're going to include the rest of the Jeep for our 6-speaker system and factory head unit. This is possible because we have those mirrors that do not have the through-hole leads. It actually had the deletes. And the clearance is not an issue. They mount in the same hole using the same screw as the 2001 model XJ. Alright, so I didn't fully install this just yet, but get the idea where it's going to go, because I'm going to probably pop out this window anyways. So I'm running it down wire down to here, which is going to go to this speaker. Then I'm going to run that speaker through the hole in here, right to there. Okay y'all, so I got the door, got the speakers in. They sound great, and great as a factory head unit can sound. I decided not to replace that with a pop-up window. I'll show you why. Now the samples of window I have, very rough. It came out of a Jeep that was in the woods. My fear, I'm pretty sure, is like it does not seal water at all. As you can see, this was on the inside part. A little bit of rust. I mean, it does hold firmly. The other thing to note, sorry about that, is when it's loose, that's super loose. I haven't really figured out how to tighten that just yet. I haven't really looked into it. I just feel like I might just be better off selling them and keeping my nice and dry windows. So I got this up factory antenna to put on there instead of having this aftermarket one that just kind of dangles around. So I stuck this wire through here to fish it through so I can't get to the fender. I'm going to try to zip tie that to that and pull it through, and hopefully I can attach the antenna that way with my assistant here helping me out. Another quick note, if you ever get these on your Comanche, this bottom part needs to be shaved down until it meets the flush mount of the screw, otherwise the door panel will not mount to it, and you will have to make an adapter for that plastic push through to hold on to something, otherwise it flops around. Get to that later. Okay, so the fishing through the hole worked. Got this to hold it on there. I'm going to remove that one and hopefully be able to apply the nut in the plastic surrounding without it falling back through. Way more work than it should be for something like this. Okay, zip tie's released. It works. Just got to twist it to where it's super tight. On goes the new antenna. And look, it's conveniently got hand twisties. Here. Twist until it stops. That look good, Eli? Mm-hmm. Okay, where's the antenna? My assistant will now hand me the antenna.
Here!
As you've seen in the first video, that's what the locks look like from the previous owners drilling them out or something. It's really straightforward fix. Okay, so the antenna is mounted on, looking good and strong. Going inside, mounted the door panel back on mostly. Still got some cleaning to do. That's how it looks. Got it dremel out the bottom a little bit. I'll show you the bracket I made so you can make one too. I went with this door panel because the speaker still sounds exactly the same even though it's covered. And plus with this guy on there, it does help with the high ends. Also, didn't record it, but changed these locks on here. It's actually very straightforward and simple. You'll need to access this part here. Down here, get your arm in, reach up. It's a little clip that pops out and then the thing falls right out. Super easy. Alright, to use the bracket, all we did is take this PCB board for a computer or electronic device and cut this section here, which it wasn't much, using 10 snips of all things. So what you're going to do is put it behind here, this guy, where this screw would mount on the door. You just drill a hole on that and wedge it up behind there so that has something to mount to. It goes a little higher than the door panel, so it actually clears it. You can see I dremeled it out a little bit so it made it more flush. Instead of being on the front, it's now towards the back. And it will hold it on very strongly. This stuff's kind of thick, so it doesn't crack easy. And the final result of this video, I'd give it on a scale of 1 to 10 rating, 1 to stupid, because if you really want to do all these upgrades, it'd be easier just to buy your own truck that already has all of them done. But hey, we learned something, so hope you all enjoyed. See you later.